Good morning and welcome back to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. Today, before I get back to repotting my Alberta spruce, I wanted to address a question that came from a viewer, and it had to do with my turntable. Let me give you some history. I had picked up this bearing probably years before, thinking I'm going to make a turntable someday, or a Lazy Susan or something. I was hoping maybe I'd find a round marble tabletop or something at a yard sale that I could convert. And then my mother moved out of her house and moved into an assisted living facility, and I was tasked with cleaning out her house along with my sisters and my wife, who did a lot. But I found this, and I'm not one for rules. If you can read that, it says for microwave use only. And I said to myself, oh yeah, I got a better use for it. Remembering I had this bearing. Now this is 2 aluminum rings with ball bearings in between. I'm not sure how they make it, but it's pretty cool. I got it on wish.com or geek.com. If you put in the search Lazy Susan hardware, turntable hardware, those pressed metal ones will come up first. But once you see these, this is 10 inches, and depending on the size of your microwave oven tray, it fits right in there. So it comes in different sizes. This is a 10-inch one, and the space it was going into is 10 inches. So that worked out great. It has little vinyl rubber, soft feeling, maybe silicone feet on both sides. The inner ring has 4 and the outer ring has 4 going in the other direction. I picked the outer ring to adhere to the glass, figuring I'd have the best stability that way. And what I did, I'll show you on the bottom. I put a dot of white silicone glue on each one of these, hoping that when it squeezed out, it didn't squeeze into the other ring. But as you can see, if I go close, it did spill over into the other ring. So I wasn't sure whether or not I had a good bond, and I wasn't restricting the movement of the inner ring in any way. And I lucked out there. I think the glue I used was from the Flex family of products. Flex Glue, strong rubberized waterproof adhesive. I'm pretty sure that's what I used. And I let it dry. I didn't move it. I pressed it in place, as you can see. I'm trying to show you. I pressed it in place till the rubber was almost visible. And when I felt I had a good bond, I just left it overnight, and I've never looked back. It's the best turntable money can buy. You probably should do a cost-benefit analysis on your own. If you have one of these trays, obviously that's a free thing. And if you want to take the time and spend the money on the hardware, this is a great piece of hardware. I oil it occasionally in the bearings. The only thing I don't like about this is that it is not perfectly flat. It is bowl-shaped, so stuff gets on there that I can't easily brush away. When water spills on it, it's a tip to get it to get it free of water. But otherwise, this is a really, really great turntable. Operates very smoothly. So this is a case of necessity being the mother of invention, sticking this down. I have one other type of thing like that, which I can't find at the moment. Oh yeah, here it is. If you're like me and you save rainwater, you'll know that the rainwater often comes with algae floating around in it. And what I did was I took a Keurig coffee pod, the refillable type, that I thought I would use, but I ended up using the throwaway type. But I had a bunch of these left over because I bought them in a box of, I don't know, 5 or 6. And I just glued it to the top of a juice bottle, which I had cut. And I have a little funnel that now strains my algae out of my rainwater. And that's just another case of trying to figure something out to help me. Now I also use bucket strainers, which come in various sizes. And if I collect a bucket of water, I'll strain it all at once. I use this for my house plants because I bring the rainwater into the house in the wintertime, hopefully in enough quantities, and lots of algae grows. So that's another thing. So that addresses the one question I had from viewers. I also had a comment about my videos in general, which was that the music was too loud and my voice was too soft. So I made an adjustment, and if you're that person and you hear it and I did a good thing, please let me know. If you think I should adjust the levels more, I have to admit I know nothing about video production, and I'm very new at it. So let's get back to my Alberta spruce. Okay, we're going to nibble away slowly. Hitting the obvious stuff first. There it goes. This one. Leaving a stub. This one's dead, going nowhere. This is a dead piece of that big knob. It wasn't quite dead. Dead enough. Also dead. So what I said was that this whole top wants to come off. So this is the only place to do it. Wow. Wow. But see, I don't know what I've done. I haven't done much. Look at that. Okay. Do I need to clean this up a little? Wow. That was a surprise. Pleasant one. Okay, so now I can clear away dirt that I wasn't able to clear away before. The roots seem to be very, very resilient. It's going to be fun finding its placement. Okay, that big knob is gone and it didn't do much harm. This one now needs to go. And it didn't do much harm. So, can I make this all look any better? Most likely. All right, I can pretty up this root base nicely, I think. It's gonna have some scars. That just popped right off. All right, cleanup time. Really, I'm not losing much root at all. hope I'm not taking this out of view at all. So I think I can keep, well, there's a few roots I want to clean up. I want to thank everyone in the knowledge chain for helping me realize that I could actually make this dream come true. Ooh, that one had a lot going on. All right, that's not too bad though. Here's another dead piece attached to another one of those knuckles that looks like I can at least pare it down. Dead. Where does this have anything coming out of it? Not until, well, I dare not cut any more of that off below. Okay, so this one looks not quite as alive as these others. Maybe it's because I cut it earlier, but I'm going to go back a little further on this. Just nibbling away. And I'm realizing I need a smaller one of these. I have another one, but it's the same size. This one's super sharp. Good control. You know, I'm going to leave that knuckle exposed, and that's my root line. Excuse me. My root plane, rather, would be there. So you'll have something above ground that's going to knuckle over. Not knuckle over, roll over. I gotta hollow that out a bit. That's okay. That's okay. It's got a little bit of a collar already because that's where the root, I guess, was rolling or rolling away from the expanding root knuckle. So what else could I take off of this? Or do I dare take off of this? And clean up these roots. I guess in aggregate a lot has come off, but I don't feel uncomfortable with the amount I've taken off. The tree is kind of a little one-sided right now. This was the front that I had picked for it. So having that root plane right here, I picked up an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter more trunk flare. But I want to straighten the tree, so it's all going to depend on where that ends up on the soil line. All right, let me prepare the pot. Yeah, no, let me continue my root work a little bit. This is not a very productive root, so I'm taking it off. Goodbye. Other thing going straight down. You know, once again, I mean, there's going to be nothing in front of the tree in terms of roots showing, but it'll have a pretty impressive flare. can come off. Wait. That has a lot of roots. I don't like where it is. I'm taking it off. In instances like this, I'm not trusting my instinct, but I'm reaching into my memory vault of all the times that I've seen it done successfully. And I think I want to give these roots a spritz. Oops, I had that set on spray before. So, as I say, in aggregate, there was a lot of roots taken. That's high up. Off it comes. That's down low, but it's nothing. Off it comes. This one comes from below. It goes straight out. I'm going to shorten that one. And maybe we'll get some better roots. These are facing upwards. Take them right off. This is facing upwards, but it dives down, but it is facing upwards. It's significantly below the soil line. I'm going to leave it. Maybe I'll just redirect it to the other side if I can. Yeah, a little more comfortable with that. I wonder if this front is always going to be so unrooted as it is right now. All right, let me prepare the pot. Did I say that already? Well, anyway, I got to prepare the pot, and I'll be right back. All right, so for the height in the pot, it's going to be dictated by this. I'd like this to be visible just over the lip of the pot. And everything else, in terms of the root base, will be flat from this. I have to trim these roots for length, which I'll do first. The pot is all prepared, by the way. I've got some wire in it for holding it down. Bow tie on the bottom for purposes of not sticking yourself with sharp pointed wires. And I'm probably going to be tying it down here. Hope you can see that, because this will be below grade. Well, we'll see once I straighten the tree out where this scar ends up. Okay. Let me get these roots trimmed. Okay, that's safe. And on this side, too long is again, leaving it. Oops, don't want to do that. Okay, then I just want to position this where the wires will make the most sense once I get the base layer of soil in. I think the base layer needs to be high in the middle, and I'll push this down. Once again, I don't like to spill this because Luca likes anything crunchy. And Boy, is this stuff crunchy. I've got a task coming up. It's going to take a lot of soil. All right, so now let's see. This is where you panic. Where you find a tool that's just right for the job. And you don't panic. So, I'm cutting a piece of airline rubber, meaning aquarium airline rubber, not American Airlines. I'm going to want this higher, but let me get this on here first. I got a lot more soil in there. Okay. All right, so yeah, let me get the more soil under here first. I'm very happy with the amount of soil line, or the amount of trunk flare that I picked up. Very, very happy with that. Did say that would be below the soil line, didn't I? This whole thing has to go down. And remain straight from all angles. Well, it's not going to be below the soil line. I'll do my best to make the wire be below the soil line. And the only way I'm going to make this knuckle disappear is to shave it down over the years. This one as well. And pushing it down, I pulled the end of those roots up. Maybe that's okay. We can get this settled down a little bit more. That's quite ugly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is quite ugly. What do I do? What do I do? Well, first of all, I'm going to pull away some of the soil and bury these roots again. It's hard to do. Okay, straight, straight. Okay, maybe I can make that wire be below the surface. But if I want this trunk to be straight, I have to live with a hump. It's good enough for Quasimodo. It's good enough for me. Go into fast motion here. Even in time lapse, you may have been able to tell I'm having trouble maintaining this tree's stability with just this wire. So what do? I'm going to tighten this as much as possible. I may have to, I don't know, I may have to create some sort of restriction here, or just make sure that it doesn't move, which is a little harder to do considering the plans I have and the fact that I want this outdoors as soon as I can trust the evening temperatures. Which I hope will be this coming month, considering, although that's quite early. It does look straight from all angles. There is a bit of a bend at the top. If you can see that, which I hope to be able to straighten out over time. But this movement is a little bit too much for me to trust right now. So I'm going to try not jarring it. Give it plenty of water. Well, I didn't prune it today like I thought. That's okay. I hope that's getting a little better. That's getting a lot better. Okay. So then my biggest mishap was pushing down on the tree after I thought I had the height right. Straight from all, pretty straight from all rotated angles. All right. Okay, I spoke too soon before when I said that the one side seemed tight enough. I just gave it a little bit of a movement in here and it loosened up on the one side. So I've got this remedial repair going here. And hopefully it won't look too bad, but it does already. Got a lot to go. I'll make sure that doesn't break. That would be very frustrating. Let me cut off some of that excess. Drop this. Ugh. Okay, better than it was. That's good. All right, well, I can't say I enjoyed this repot. It was nice to get it out of the nursery pot, for sure, but this presented more problems than I was anticipating. But I think it has a good future. If it lives, I will know very soon, because if those start dying out, I'm going to be panicking a little bit. But I'm going to put it back on my bench here, get it watered. Well, let me get it watered right now. Well, I jostled it a little there. It seems all right. And then we can eat. Right, Luke? Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Try and give you the front. A few roots exposed. I might put some fines of this soil on top. Okay, it's starting to run out. Let it sit for a couple of minutes. That's pretty much the front, but I got to do some pruning. Open up that trunk a little bit. Not artificially. I got to bring some of these branches down to kind of round out this side. But that comes in the pruning phase, which was going to be today. Hopefully this tree will be happy in its bonsai soil and its little bonsai training pot, and I hope I can take the training wheels off sometime this summer. I don't want anything eating into this. I will watch this closely and I will update all of you periodically on its condition. So once again, thank you for subscribing if you indeed have. If you haven't, I hope you will consider subscribing. And more than anything, I appreciate the company in my backyard. Thank you.